Welcome to the house. Nick, Connor, and Jack here. And Connor, the unthinkable happened. Last week we both beat Jack. We both went 10-6. Jack went 9-7. How does it feel to finally be a loser?
Well, it's not gonna last. I know you guys like to have your moment, and I'll let you have your moment. But if you think this is gonna continue, I'm sorry, but you need to get with the times, get with the program here. A lot of people out there saying last year was a fluke, that Jack doesn't know what he's talking about, that Jack just picks the games because of which team he thinks can hypothetically beat the other one in a fight in his head. But I'm here to tell you that that's false, all right? Now, I might not have been up to date on most NFL news this year, but I'll tell you that. Get it out of here.
You see, I love these two, but if we have to wear these to not get kicked out of our university where we record. So I hope you can understand, even though I'm with them all the time.
Look, it stings. I'll get it. It stings, but I'm looking to bounce back this week.
All right, and Jack,
Blues.
because
you're damn right I got the Blues.
Because we're in a bottomless pit at our school's TV studio, I can't get Wi-Fi on my laptop, which means Jack.
I control everything.
Jack is in control today, and why don't you get us into the first game?
All right. Well, the first game is the Bengals and the Browns. I'm taking the Bengals because I think the Cleveland Steamers. I think they stink.
I'm taking the Bengals as well. Joe Burrow got robbed of his first win last year with his kicker faking an injury after he completely whiffed on a field goal. And the Browns just looked awful against the Ravens. Maybe I like to think something will click this week, but last week gave me no inclination that it would, so I'm going with the Bengals.
We have a clear house. I'm going with the Bengals as well. As you mentioned, Joe Burrow looked pretty great last week. Led his team down the field. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done, and I think they win this week.
No, it sucks, but I mean, you look at the Bengals almost beating the Chargers, and you look at the Browns getting shellacked, stomped, and clomped by the Ravens. All right, the next game is, I'm going to go right to the Sunday night game because that's how they have it listed. Patriots, Seahawks. Super Cam versus Russell Wilson, who, by the way, was doing some ridiculous shit last week, which he always kind of does. And, I mean, a lot of people talk about, like, Mahomes being this freak in nature, but Wilson does some of the same stuff. So
he walked so Mahomes could run.
Yeah.
And Jackson.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure we
And
said
Michael Vick slow walked, so all three of them could run.
He was actually running pretty fast.
He was. I'm going with the Seahawks in this one.
Connor.
I'm going with the Seahawks as well.
Wild card, I'm going Pats.
Wow.
I can't blame you on that one.
They lose.
I think Belichick has really thus far used Cam Newton to his benefit. 2 touchdowns last week. I just think Seattle at home can give him a better game.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, until the Patriots lose, I still think they're that team. Granted, half the defense is, not playing due to COVID, but I really didn't see any change in the play style of the team, and I haven't seen change in production either. Moving on, we have the Panthers and the Buccaneers. Tom Brady with a rough one last week. You guys think he can bounce back?
Yes. I'm saying they win. 4th and 1, and the Panthers don't give their ball to McCaffrey. How are they going to figure out that Bucs defense? And now you can say the Bucs gave up 34 points against the Saints. But look at the yard totals. I think they were just over 200 yards maybe, actually.
Roughly.
The Saints? The Buccaneers got more yardage that game than the Saints did. And it's because of Tom Brady giving them 2 touchdowns, essentially. That's not me saying I think the Bucs defense is insane yet, because that definitely isn't the case that we know of at this point. But I think the Buccaneers, and you have a Panthers team that clearly is making some weird decisions offensively. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
I'm going the Buccaneers as well. I think they have a bounce-back week after playing the Saints. Not so great, but I think this is their bounce-back week against the Panthers.
All right. I'm going to go with that as well. I think Brady's pretty pissed off about with how last week went, and I don't think he's going to throw 2 picks again. So then we've got Giants and Bears. Bears coming back late last week against the Lions. The Giants with a bit of a stagnant game against the Steelers, but showed promise.
I liked the no huddle they did earlier. I can't even remember now if they did that in the second half, but I liked the no huddle.
They did it right off the bat.
I liked the urgency they showed. I still think the Bears win this one. But I like what the Giants are doing. I think they can get some more help on the O-line. They'll be golden in a few years.
I I'm going to take the Giants because I wouldn't put it past the Bears to flop this one.
I was inclined to take the Giants this week after, they had that hurry-up offense, and it looked pretty decent. They have a lot of targets there. But I'm going to go with the Bears in this one. I do not think it's going to be quite the same game as we saw last week with Trubinsky leading them back from coming from behind win. But I think it's going to be closer.
And look at Allen Robinson. Some rumors about him wanting out. His agent said that's not true. He's just not happy.
Deleted all. He
How's
got
he
rid
gonna
of
play?
everything Bears related on social media, so that's never a good sign. But we'll keep an eye on that. Listen to the Stranded Sports podcast for updates on the Allen Robinson situation. That's a plug.
That is a plug. Or an article even. You might write that one.
Yeah, sure.
Insert laugh track.
So then we have the Jaguars and the Titans. Titans need to find a kicker.
They do. His name's Steven Gostowski.
We'll see if he can act. They
Legendary.
kept him?
The
they,
legend.
What did they keep him?
I believe so.
I haven't heard
All
he was
right, so
cut.
they're giving him
Haven't heard
another.
anything
They're giving him
else.
another week.
Recording this
redeemed himself.
Wednesday afternoon, by the way.
He redeemed himself.
Yeah, with
he
a
missed
chip
the other
shot
ones,
to
but
win the game.
It was a chip shot.
was a
Granted,
chip
but he
shot.
Who are they
redeemed
playing?
himself.
They're playing the
playing
Jags.
the Jags.
Minshew had like a 95% completion percentage. They're winning.
I was gonna take the Jags too.
I'm
Guys,
taking
you
the
going with
Jags.
the Jags? I'm gonna go
Actually,
with
wait. I don't know because I think Derrick Henry can run right through that Jaguars defense.
I think that's the key to this game. I'm going with the Titans.
I'm
No.
going with the Titans as well.
Jags, baby.
Yep. See, just a little flip flop right there. Then we got the Falcons and the Cowboys.
I mean, it's kind of cool to see Todd Gurley play remotely well again. At least in the first half he was. I'm not sure how it ended up. Regardless, though, I think I'm going with the Cowboys.
Okay. I'll go with the Cowboys as well.
I'm kind of inclined to take Atlanta in this game, and I think I'm going to. Granted, I think Ezekiel Elliott's going to have a really great game this week. But like as you mentioned, I think Todd Gurley is a better fit in Atlanta myself. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons in this one.
All right. So now we've got the Lions and the Packers. Two teams that kind of faltered a little bit, both looking for a bounce back week. I'm going to take the Lions.
I'm taking the Packers, man. Taking the Packers.
All right.
Rodgers looked great. He put all the naysayers away. Devonta Adams also had a great game. Aaron Jones, from what I remember, keep in mind I watch Red Zone mostly, then like the primetime games I watch individually. But from what I saw, the Packers looked good. They put all the naysayers in their place, and I think that continues against the Lions team. That continues to somehow find excuses for Matt Patricia.
Exactly. I'm going to go with the Packers in this game. I think they outmatched that Vikings team last week by far. And I think they're going to return this week and really take it to the Detroit Lions.
All right. Then we got the Bills and the Dolphins.
The Bills and the Dolphins. Well, if you ask some people, the Patriots beating the Dolphins was equivalent of them winning another Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that was the Dolphins, and that is not the case. I'm taking the Bills over the Dolphins because a lot of teams can still beat the Dolphins because getting Tua did not automatically make them a good team yet.
No, I'm going with the Bills too. I think Tua is going to need time to really mesh with that team. I mean, not really.
And he's not even starting. It's
Yeah,
Fitzpatrick still.
Exactly. He's gonna need time. But
And I believe
he's gotta
Jordan
be good.
Howard got dinged up last week too, so I can't remember the status of his injury, but that's not good to get a respected running back on your team and he gets dinged up right away.
Exactly. I don't think the team meshes too well quite yet, but give it some time a little bit. I think they can connect a little bit better than previous years at least, but I'm going to go with the Bills in this game.
All right. Now we have the Vikings and the Colts. I'm going to go with Indianapolis.
I'm going with the Vikings. I think they lost to Green Bay,
lost to
right?
Green Bay.
I want to make sure I was right in thinking that because we all picked the Vikings, and I think that was a big red on the list for all of us. Vikings, though, I think there will be a good team. I like to see them get Justin Jefferson involved a bit more. I think they're going to come out here and pick up a big win over the Colts, who unfortunately kind of pissed away the game against the Jaguars.
I'm going to go with the Colts in this game. I wasn't too sold last week on the Vikings offense deal. I think that they have to get Jefferson involved, definitely. I'm going to go with the Colts in this one.
All right.
That was pretty.
Sorry. So we got San Francisco and the Jets.
San Francisco.
Yeah, this is.
You kidding me?
Kind of like a no-brainer.
How many? I love Sam Darnold. I loved him in college, but we got to start.
Bell's out.
And Bell's out. I know because he's on my fantasy squad. I was heartbroken. Who else is going to run 6 times for 14 yards? I want Le'Veon to succeed, too. That's not me ripping him apart. I genuinely want him to succeed, and I want him to figure it out. but it's frustrating not seeing that happen. Anyway, not going to be a game. The Jets lose.
I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers in this one. Not much more there.
No, it would be.
It's pretty much. Richard Sherman on IR too. On top of that, although the defense didn't look phenomenal at all against Arizona, as we saw, I'm still going to go with the 49ers in this game.
And Kittle did get hurt, correct?
I can't remember.
Kittle,
I
can't quite remember.
I think he left the game.
There were a lot of weird.
He left the game. I'm pretty sure.
There were a lot of mid-game people leaving, and I don't know if it was they're actually hurt or they're resting.
A lot of it this year.
Yeah, just tweaking something.
There were a lot of them. I tried to remember.
No preseason.
Yeah.
No training camp.
This essentially is preseason, but it counts.
Yes.
So it's a very odd scenario.
You know what else we like counting?
What?
Money. And right now, we're going to take our mid-show gambling update with our new gambling correspondent, Ethan Morrison. Ethan, take it away.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ethan. I'm the head gambling expert here for To The House. So I'm going to try to get you guys some money this week. So here are my locks for this week. I have 3 of them. All right, so the first one is the Thursday night game. It is the Cincinnati Bengals against the Cleveland Browns. All right, so I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals spread +6. All right, so you may think I'm crazy, but I don't, because Baker Mayfield in his first game last week got just absolutely demolished by the Ravens defense. Could not do anything. Offense looked like it had zero chemistry whatsoever. As for Joe Burrow, he looked pretty good. Showed some signs where I'm like, oh yeah, he could probably do something. But yeah, just overall, I think this will be a very close game. I don't think the Bengals will win it, but I think they'll definitely cover the spread. All right, so the next game is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Denver Broncos. Steelers are coming in at -7.5 favorites. I am taking the Steelers. So today, Monday night's game, I finally bought into the Steelers hype. I didn't really know what was going to happen with the defense, if they would pick up where they left off last year. Obviously, they did. As for the offense, Ben coming back, thought it would be a little bit rusty, but yeah, he brought it back, and we were able to get them some points later on. Just really think with Denver Broncos losing Von Miller on defense, I really think if Pittsburgh can get off to a hot start and the defense can play like they did on Monday, I think they easily take this spread and win the game. All right, my third game is the Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. Last year, they matched up in November with the Ravens taking it 41-7. I'm actually going to take the over on this one at 52. Really, both teams last week, the Texans put up 20 against the Chiefs, which is a really good team, really good defense. As for the Ravens, they just destroyed the Browns. I really think with Lamar and Deshaun playing like they have been recently this past week and last year, I really think that I can hit the over. So hopefully I can win you guys some points or some money. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, Ethan.
Great to have him on board. Great. He loves the game.
Loves the game.
He knows his
and
shit.
He loves making money, and that's what we love to do as well.
Indeed.
So, getting back into it, we're looking at the Rams and the Eagles. Eagles losing to the Washington football team. Still can't believe that's a thing.
I'm not picking the Eagles till they win because of this.
I think they're cursed.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams,
No one
too.
said the Rams were going to beat the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys might be better than the Eagles.
I would actually throw a lot of money on the Rams for this
Carson
game.
Wentz went out and looked like God, and then he completely fell apart. They also have a lot of injuries on that Philly team.
Also,
We're taking the Rams, baby, in their
So
bone meal white jerseys.
saw a tweet today that was, I almost said Darnold, Jesus. It was Wentz talking about Aaron Donald, and he's clearly scared. So, the Eagles are shaking their boots right now.
They sure are.
Taking the Rams.
I'm going to go with the Rams as well. That offense was one of the few this whole entire week one that I thought really didn't lose a step at all. They look very great. I think they're going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles this week, even though they're playing on the road. And then Aaron Donald on defense. My goodness. I'm going with the Rams.
He's ragdolling. He ragdolls double teams and then just keeps plowing through people. It's unreal. He grabbed Zeke with one hand and moved.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Plow through that offensive line.
Broncos, Steelers.
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 Benny Snell looks like he's going to fit comfortably in that starter spot. Granted, it was against the Giants, but you got to keep in mind no Von Miller for that Broncos defense right now. I'm going with the Steelers. Ben looked good, and again, I'm on the bandwagon for now.
Go Steelers.
Steelers, they had a rough start to that game, for the first game against the Giants.
Absolutely.
But I think they really bounced back in this one. The defense, I think, shows up. Let's put it that way. And I'm going to go with the Steelers this time.
Go Steelers. Washington football team and the Arizona Cardinals.
I got to go with the Cardinals. They just beat the defending NFC champions, and I think the football team doesn't compare in this matchup. I liked seeing them win, though. I love Dwayne Haskins, loved him at Ohio State, despite not being an Ohio State guy by any stretch of the imagination. I loved watching him play, loved seeing him get a win there. I loved the story of Rivera being on an IV and the young guy stepping up, the young quarterback, hyping everybody up during halftime, leading to the comeback. Love that storyline. Unfortunately, though, I don't think they win this week. I'm going Cardinals.
I'm going to go Cardinals as well.
Washington football team for a moment here. They're first place right now in the NFC East. So Washington
Everyone
fans,
else
I hope
is
you
0-1.
enjoy this moment while you can, because guess what? The Arizona Cardinals are going to come in and stomp you guys out this week.
Jesus.
DeAndre Hopkins going to get touchdown. Stay tuned for more.
All right.
That's bold.
And next we have the Ravens and the Texans.
I'm going Ravens. Texans scored 20 points against the Chiefs. I think they might have pushed on the over-under or just hit the over or just hit the under, depending on when you placed your bet. So I'm kind of mad at them right now because I preached hitting the over. But I'm going to go with the Ravens in this one. They stomped Cleveland like a mud hole. And, yeah, I don't think I need to say anything else.
I just think Baltimore has a better defense. So, I mean, you can have a shootout all day long, but I don't think you said they didn't hit the over last week. Sean Watson's good. It's just I don't think Bill O'Brien really is.
They
has
traded
any mainstay.
They got
in
David
this league.
Johnson for DeAndre Hopkins.
Who looked like his old self again.
A little bit.
A little bit more. But, I took the Texans last week against the Chiefs. Very, very terribly picked game. But I think the revenge tour, for the Ravens marches right through the Texans this week. I'm going to go with Baltimore.
All right. Last Sunday game. This is another. It's a 4. I mean,
It's a 425 game.
it's the last one on the list. Because I can't organize anything. Kansas City and the Chargers. Chiefs.
I'm picking the Chiefs till they lose. Chiefs big.
Yeah.
Over a
Definitely.
Chargers team that struggled to beat rookie Joe Burrow and a
Exactly.
slightly retooled Bengals team that's still far away from competing seriously.
It definitely has to be the Chiefs this week. At the Chargers defense and the whole entire team, to be honest with you, altogether, just didn't look like they all had it. Going to be interesting seeing how Tyrod and even Herbert eventually maybe can connect with that offense, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this game.
All right. And then we're moving on to the Monday night game, which is the Saints and the Raiders. I wonder who Connor's going to pick.
Who dat?
Oh, of course. Saints.
I'm going to take the Saints.
I'm
Big-
taking the Saints.
But
Week 1 win.
don't be surprised if you
Week
are
2.
surprised. I think the Raiders have a chance. They
It's their
might.
home opener.
I think
In Vegas.
In Vegas.
In the Roomba Stadium.
the Roomba Stadium.
It's going to be a different
looks like a Roomba.
field,
I haven't
different
seen it.
atmosphere
It
for
does.
that team.
It literally does.
No Michael Thomas this week.
And no Michael Thomas.
For
They're
the
still
next
going to
several
win.
weeks, no Michael Thomas. They're still going to win
They
this
still
game.
have Jared Cook and Alvin Kamara and Emmanuel Sanders.
Exactly.
I'm not too worried about them.
That
I'm
high-powered
introducing a new
offense.
segment right now.
What?
It's called Double Dip. All right?
I don't do
Double
that.
dip.
We don't condone double dipping. 3 times throughout this
foul.
season, we can double down on a prediction. Meaning if we get it right, it's worth 2 wins, but if we get it wrong, it's worth 2 losses. You can't use it in the last week of the season. They have to be used before then. Or if you don't use them at all, well, then you can't use them in the last week still. So I ask you two, do you want to double dip on any games this week?
I'll double dip on the Titans.
You're going to double dip on the Titans game. All right. I'm not going to use mine this week, which is funny because I just made this up. Connor?
I'm going to double dip on the Chiefs this
Oh,
week.
wow. Well, you know what I'm going to do as the locals. Let me see here. I think I'm going to have to double dip on the 49ers beating the Jets this week. We're all double dipping this week. Make a graphic of me dipping a chip in hell of a good yum.
Any kind of dip, really. It doesn't. I mean, you you want to plug a brand, that's cool. But like,
Chip dip.
We don't get paid for that.
Fantasy player of the week.
No free clout.
Fantasy
especially
player
for
of the week,
dip.
boys. Who we taking? Jack O'Brien.
My fantasy player of the week is gonna be Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Wow.
My fantasy player has to be DeAndre Hopkins, as I mentioned yesterday on the Stranded Sports podcast.
You can listen now.
You can listen now. 14 receptions for 151 yards, I believe. I think he's going to get that touchdown this week. His first one as a Cardinal, and I think the Cardinals win big.
I'm going to keep on keeping on and say Raheem Mostert with the 49ers against that Jets defense.
So that's it. That's it.
That's it.
Week 2 to the house.
They came to the house and they got what they saw.
Yeah,
Game of the
I'm
week.
currently renting right now, but I'm coming back. I have the deed. It's in my other pants.
Fair enough. For Jack and Connor, I've been Nick. This has been To the House. We'll see you next week.